going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got how India hosted the 1987 World Cup with no money by the one and only Cricket Raz, I believe their channel's name. I reacted. This is the channel that has been uploading the Virat Rohit saga part 2. So again, if you haven't checked out the channel, go and check it out. They have incredible videos. Although I'm going to react to most of them, so maybe wait for me to react to them so you can watch it for the first time with me. Do whatever you want at the end of the day. Hey, what was I going to say? Subscribe if you're new. Let's check it out.
So the year is 1984.
Alrighty.
India has just pulled off a miraculous coup.
Yeah.
The World Cup, for the very first time,
That's a good
has
delivery.
moved out of England and is to be jointly held in India and Pakistan.
Really?
And
That's crazy to think that India back then agreed to host it with Pakistan. Like, shit.
are gonna show the world what we are capable of. We are gonna win the World Cup, this time in our own house. And we are gonna show them how we organize a World Cup. There is just one small problem though.
No money.
We need 30 crores to finance the World Cup and we don't have a single rupee.
Ugh.
Not a single rupee.
Damn. Not
So
one?
today, we have brought for you a story of the time India hosted a World Cup without a single penny in its pocket.
It's a holy festival.
The time we jugadofied an entire World Cup. So for those of you who have not seen the first part, let's do a quick recap.
How not getting 2 wickets? 2 tickets. I haven't actually seen the first part. Maybe I should... Well, he just said he's going to recap it, so never
In a
mind.
bid to host the World Cup, India promised 4 to 5 times the money that England was offering. At the time, that money was guaranteed by Dhirubhai Ambani through Indira Gandhi's mediation.
Ambani!
But by the time we actually won the ICC election, Indira Gandhi had been assassinated.
Oh.
Rajiv Gandhi did not share the same rapport with the Ambanis. But more
Damn.
importantly, in order to secure political support, he had made VP Singh his finance minister. And one of the first things VP Singh did as the finance minister was to order income tax department to go after Ambanis. What followed was an all-out war between the two sides.
Wow.
So there was no way that Ambanis were going to sponsor the World Cup. And the search was on for a new sponsor. Now I do understand. The next part is going to be a bit complicated, but it won't be a jugaad if it wasn't convoluted beyond measure, would it?
True.
So first, BCCI
Yeah.
was to host the World Cup in India. But it had to pay guarantee money to countries participating in the World Cup. Furthermore, it would also have to pay for the accommodation, travel, security together. The required amount was 30 crores. This was to be shared between India and Pakistan, with India paying 2/3 of the cost. That's 20 crores. So where exactly was BCCI going to get this from?
Yeah.
At the time, BCCI didn't have much funds of its own. So part of it was to come from direct sponsorship and the other from the royalty it would receive from the match broadcast. The broadcasting channels would earn that money from TV advertisements as well as ground advertisements. But this royalty money would be paid after the World Cup. And the BCCI had been given a deadline of December 1984 to pay the guarantee money of rupees 4 crores, which was to be paid in the form of pounds, 1.8 million pounds.
Holy crap. So, wait, 4 crore is 1.8 million pounds. How much is 30 crores then? Well, 20. That's... I'm not good at math, but that's got to be a lot of money.
Now,
Sheesh.
at the time, India was a restricted market. That means that we did not have a huge foreign reserve, so the government would be very skittish to provide it. In short, foreign investor was needed who could pay in pounds.
Okay.
But any sponsor gives you money with expectations of increased sales over time.
Yeah.
In an underdeveloped country like India with severely restricted foreign market access, the chances that they could earn back the money was zero. So we had to convince people to give us money with no hopes of ever getting it back.
Wow.
So we tried. Coca-Cola, Rothmans, Grindlays, Bank, Kodak, Gillette, Mitsubishi, anybody that could be approached was approached. In desperation, we even approached Indian businesses. And in total, all of them together were ready to give us 38 lakhs. 38 lakhs when 4 crores was required.
Damn, that is just way off. Sheesh.
And
Way off.
with the deadline fast approaching, BCCI President Salve went to meet Rajiv Gandhi.
Okay.
Now do understand Rajiv Gandhi's situation here. After losing his mother, he had been pushed into political center stage, with his own party scoffing at his inexperience. What Indira Gandhi used to do with an iron fist, Rajiv Gandhi had to do with an open hand. And here comes Mr. Salve, asking for 1.8 million pounds. That means touching the foreign reserve, which is seen as the last resort in case of financial crisis or wars. He had to take money out of there for a game in a country where people used to stand in lines for hours just for rations. And all of this within 6 months of his prime ministerial position. At best, it could be a gamble with absolutely no benefits for him. At worst, it could be political suicide. And Rajiv Gandhi decided to roll the dice. The reasoning was simple.
Wow.
If we couldn't pay that money, then India would be humiliated on world stage. And with the last World Cup win, cricket
Kapil Dev.
itself was a source of pride for Indians. So even if it was a risk well worth taking.
Is that Kapil Dev?
So Indian government paid off that 1.8 million pounds, hoping that BCCI will eventually find a sponsor. But before they could even go and search for sponsors, a new trouble emerged. Doordarshan was refusing to pay royalties to BCCI. Now this royalties could amount to up to 6 crores. That was a huge chunk of money that BCCI desperately needed. But even Doordarshan wasn't at fault.
Bro, I'm just trying to wonder how they put all of this together. Like, honestly, I mean, we're only halfway through the video, but this sounds like an absolute sad story. It doesn't sound like something and how they ended up hosting it 3 years later after losing all this goddamn money or not having any money. Hey, this is inspirational.
Among the things that BCCI had promised ICC while securing the hosting, it was the clause that they would upgrade their broadcasting infrastructure.
Okay.
Something that would cost about 30 crores.
Holy
all
shit.
of which would have to be paid by Doordarshan.
Oh my god.
Now, maybe they could earn it back, maybe they could not, but one thing was sure. They couldn't pay those additional 6 crores to BCCI. So, here was BCCI at risk of not being able to broadcast World Cup matches to its own country, still needing 20 crores with absolutely nowhere to get it from. Seems like a Shakespearean tragedy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Well, what Shakespeare didn't know was that when push comes to shove, we tend to do what we do best. Jugaad. First of all, even though we had no money, it had to be kept a secret. Because the moment it got out, England would redouble its efforts to stop us from hosting. So, rather than waiting for a magical sponsor to appear, BCCI dipped into its meager funds to just get the ball rolling. Experts from BBC and MCC who had experience in conducting the World Cup were pulled in. And the game was on. Glorious plans were made with nothing on the ground. A lot of smoke was there with no fire beneath it. There was fire though, just not in BCCI, but in the Congress government. In the next few years, Rajiv Gandhi and VP Singh's relation had continued to sour. And finally, it reached its breaking point.
Really?
VP Singh had been transferred to the Defense Ministry, and the moment it happened, Salve made a quick call to Dhirubhai Ambani. And he simply asked, "Are you interested?" Dhirubhai Ambani said yes, but this time with one condition. He wanted to sit next to the Prime Minister during the exhibition match between India and Pakistan that was held just before the World Cup. Rajiv Gandhi agreed, and the deal was on. Ambani first paid rupees 4 crores to the Indian government, then paid another 1.5 crores for the title sponsorship, naming Anil Ambani as the organizer from Reliance's side. Anil Ambani
Wait, is that Mukesh Ambani right there? If it's not, it looks exactly like him.
on his part in the
thinking of the
first
right
interview as the sponsor when asked what are the plans for the World Cup. He replied, what? World Cup? I don't know what that is. The shocked interviewer questioned back, you know the thing that you are sponsoring? Anil Ambani replied, oh, that's not the World Cup. That's the Reliance Cup. Call it that and nothing else. That was Reliance's plan. Normally, sponsors pay money with the hopes of increasing sales, but Ambani had just one goal: brand recognition. Through this World Cup, people in India and around the world would come to know of the Reliance Group. So anything that could be renamed was renamed. Even the organizing committee's name was changed from India-Pakistan Joint Organization Committee to the Reliance Cup Organization Committee.
Oh.
The Bania was in the house. And as you may know, he may not always profit. For sure, he won't suffer a loss. With one part of the equation handled, Salve again approached Rajiv Gandhi for the other issue, Doordarshan. And through his mediation, a new compromise was reached. Doordarshan would bear all the production cost.
Really?
But they would not pay any royalty to the BCCI.
Hey.
In return, they had to share their ad revenue with them.
Okay.
BCCI, on the other hand, would get control over all the in-ground advertisements. And the moment this compromise was reached, Ambani bought the rights of all the in-ground advertisements
Hey.
for all of India's stadiums for a staggering 2.6 crores.
Damn.
Furthermore, there were talks that Reliance would pay from its own pockets for infrastructure to increase all the advertising spaces inside the stadium, giving BCCI a part of the revenue. Guess what was going to be advertised over that extra space? Not stopping there, Reliance outbid everyone to earn the rights of official supplier. And then everyone from Fuji, Canon, Bata, Seiko, VIP were all made suppliers of the Reliance Cup,
Okay.
with Reliance itself becoming the official fabric supplier. Seeing this increasing revenue, many companies were enraged at this one-sided monopoly of Reliance. They complained to Salve, who simply responded, "Where were all of you when we needed money?" Still, while money was being squeezed out of every foreseeable corner, it still wasn't enough. Specifically, BCCI still needed money to cover players' accommodations. And while the hunt was on for some cheaper accommodations, Reliance, egged on by Salve, officially declared that it would cover the entire cost of accommodations. Now you can ask, why? How does Reliance benefit here? After all, they didn't own an extensive hotel chain in India. That means that they would have to bear the cost
Look at these two guys.
of accommodation. Now for this, I'll just give you some facts. Somehow, all the 5-star hotels that were arranged by Reliance also happen to have extensive hotel networks in the home country of those foreign teams. Furthermore, Ambani funded a 6-part Netflix-style TV series on Doordarshan, calling it Reliance World Cup Cricket 1987, where they would show behind-the-scenes preparations for the World Cup, including interviews of those foreign teams in their hotels.
Has anyone actually seen that? I haven't actually seen that documentary. I'd be very interested in watching it.
Now, due to this worldwide publicity, whether those hotels would charge money or not, I leave that up to your imagination. But with this final obstacle dealt with, the road was clear. India was finally ready to host the World Cup. And as matches proceeded and the throne was slowly taken over, as the new concept of a closing ceremony was broadcasted, for which Reliance had paid an additional 55 lakhs, even though we didn't win that World Cup, we had won something much more important. We had won the right to speak right at the top of the food chain, the right to never be ignored. India had arrived, and the whole world had seen it sitting in their own houses, watching as India pulled off a coup performed a miracle, and then latched onto the throne, never to let it go again. And all of this by just doing a little bit of jugaad. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video and you like such long series, do let us know in the comments below.
I know, shout out to this guy. Original link's always in the description. Firstly, I know normally, you know, with the reaction videos, with all my reaction videos that I ever do, I normally do pause a few times during the video. But with this video, I was I was super into it. Like, I was super interested in and curious on on how it happened. So that's why, you know, I didn't talk much at all. I just wanted to sit back and watch. It's like watching this guy is like watching some Netflix, you know, investigation documentary series. Like, this guy's incredible. Netflix should be signing this guy to produce some of their stuff or something like that. But hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. Again, I've got heaps more videos from this channel that I want to react to. This guy is incredible. So hey, go and subscribe to him. But hey, that's going to cap it off, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.